Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Mystic Hots. I am your host, Mystic. We are here with Division D West, wrapping up the season play in a game one of what would be a doubleheader here at Cast tonight. I am doing game number one. I do not know if game number two has been picked up. We shall see later. But we have tonight mildly interesting, sitting with a record of 12 wins, 10 losses against Team Skyarch, sitting at 10 wins and 8 losses. Both teams are sitting pretty right outside the playoff cutoff, and both teams here with this match having a big decision on whether or not they jump up into the top 6. As we roll on across here, as you can see, playoffs are on the line here. Team Skyarch, Team Mildly Interesting, sitting just below Planet Smashers and the Bone Boys. Barely there in the percentage. And Team Skyarch is double-headed and actually has a lot of playoff implications going forward. Mildly Interesting going to be looking to just wrap up any of the drama and just get this 2-0 here for themselves. But Team Skyarch can make things interesting with a draw or a win. We're going to see how things go here tonight. I am getting ready checks from the team, so we will be diving into this shortly as we wait on them. Tonight's coin toss was won by Team Skyarch, and they opted to take the first pick. Tonight's map bans are Towers of Doom, as well as Dragonshire. Towers of Doom being banned out by Mildly Interesting, and Dragonshire being banned out by Team Skyarch. Game number one will be played on Sky Temple, the pick for Mildly Interesting, with first pick going in the favor of Team Skyarch, with game number two happening on Volskaya Foundry, which was picked by Team Skyarch. Ready, checks are here. Checks are on their way. Let's kick this off.
You're mine now.
First pick will be going to Team Skyarch here on Sky Temple. As we wait for the players to load up. Sky Temple is always an interesting map, especially here with playoffs on the line. We've already had, in the cast last night, we already had the Metabacterial Cheese. Let's see if it returns tonight. White Mane being banned out immediately here by Team Skyarch. Good luck, have funs all around. And Kerrigan being banned out on the side of Mildly Interesting. So the newly reworked, supposedly quite powerful Kerrigan, not going to get seen in this first game here. Let's see what Skyarch comes up with for their second ban. And it's going to be Jimmy Raynor. So reworked heroes and the new White Mane. So far, the options being denied here, followed by a Genji. No surprise there. Here we go with the first pick coming out of the side of Team Skyarch. Will we see Mephisto? Will we see a reworked Brightwing? Will we see some cheese? Playoffs are on the line here. Teams are going to do anything they can to win at this point. And it's an opening Dahaka pick. A very comfortable, safe pick on this map. He's able to bounce around the map with ease, keep that team soak up, and join the team fight at any point of the match.
Balloon, ready for action!
And mildly interesting in a counter with the Malfurion Murden pick, not even hesitating. They know what they want. They are ready to roll. Looking forward to some stuns into the root combo here.
Let's jam.
We've got Asmodan and Deckard Cain coming out from the side of Team Skyarch. Pretty solid picks all around here. Nothing too surprising with the latest trends. As we move on here into the third ban. Skyarch might still be looking for another frontliner. Preferably a more main tankish one. Valyria being banned out, along with the Maiev on the side of mildly interesting. That just made things a little interesting here. What is going to happen here? That seems to maybe have thrown a kink in the plan of mildly interesting, as they are dragging this second or third and fourth pick out here quite a bit.
The wait is over.
We've got Cassia and Leoric. So the solo lane is now covered. Cassia blinds are going to be nice. But into what? We've got the Dahaka drag. We've got the Deckard slow and root. They've got the Asmodan dunks to follow it up. What does Team Skyarch want to do to wrap up this draft? Vala and ETC. Oh, this could be some nice combos coming out from both sides here. We got a Tomb, we've got Malfurion Roots, he might have the Silence ult. Twilight Dream. Cassia's bouncing Lightning Ball. And then we've got the Tongue, we've got Dunks, we've got Stuns from Deckards, we got Vala Stuns, we've got ETC Mosh Pit possible.
This realm needs me.
And Li Ming is going to wrap up the draft here. So ladies and gentlemen, you have your draft. Early opinions here. I'm going to give it in the favor of mildly interesting, as I do have a more solid early game comp, though as that game drags on with Asmodan getting those stacks, provided he can get those stacks. If Asmodan can ramp up and they can combo their ults together, mildly interesting has a very strong late game team, although the same can be said on the other side. But we are diving into this one now. You've got your picks. You've got your draft. Let me know who you think is going to win in the chat when the poll pops up, and we'll see how this goes. The chat, full of chatter tonight with all the stuff on the line here. All right, chat, let's get hyped. This is playoffs on the line for both of these teams.
I would prepare.
On the side of mildly interesting, we have Mrs. Windup Bird playing the Cassia, Magnus Opus on the Malfurion, Walrex on the Li Ming, Happy Pants on the Muradin, and in the back we've got Rowley on the Leoric. Over on the side of Team Skyarch, we've got Skyarch himself on the Asmodan, Sith 911 on Dahaka, M58 Gogan on the Vala, D-Bomber on the Deckard Kane, and hiding in the bottom down here is Womack on ETC.
4, 3.
Get hype, playoffs are on the line. Let me know who you think is going to win. Let's get this underway, and here's a quick preview of our level 1 talents as the teams head towards the middle and to the vision in the top lane. We've got Thunderstroke Quest coming out from Cassia, Azul's got Greed, Progress coming out of ETC, and Muradin, of course, has his Stormbolt quest. And Enhanced Agility from Dahaka. Mildly interesting to get that vision point early on. Dahaka getting a big grab on the Muradin. He's going to be able to leap away, though. As Leo is in the bottom lane already, Cassie is already in the top lane. Dahaka making his way up now. And ETC going to dealing Leo down in the bottom. Another big root coming out of Deckard Kane. Li Ming going to rotate down here. We've got ETC and Asmodan down here in the bottom lane at the moment. Dancing with the Cassia up here. Solo lane dance. And Malfurion down in the middle, but Vala's going to die to the towers at the same time, so an even trade there. Unfortunate. The votes are coming in. Everybody looking favorably for Skyarch. even though all the people in the chat are talking about being against them. Not a lot of activity going on here at the moment. Team's just kind of soaking, bouncing around. Vala is back. The Furion is back. Deckard landing a big root there. Level 4 talents are up on the side of Team Mildly Interesting. ETC getting the slide in. There's the zoning, but he's going to be driven out pretty quick. Level 4 does come online here for Team Skyarch.
Light of the sun rose within the temples. Soon they shall bask in
And the
my
fans have 100% voting here on the side of Team Skyarch. Sorry about the lack of overlay there. ETC having to slide away.
My magic flows through the temples.
Mildly Interesting going to start out on the middle shrine here. Asmo and Leo continuing to duke it out in the bottom as Skyarch makes her way towards the top. The Haka and Vala trying to take this camp out here pretty quick. Little off on the timing. Rest of Skyarch making their way up now to this top camp. Asmodan rotating between middle and bottom. As ETC continues to whittle away at the top shrine. Middle temple is gone, and so Mildly Interesting making the rotation up. Daka waiting in the bush, but Murder's just going to hop on over him. ETC sliding in, getting the knockback. Murder not able to leave away the limit. Now Furion is grabbed now. Deckard tossing those potions out, watching his team drink them happily in the back. Both teams each trading here on a temple. Towers and fort damaged. They're on the side of Mildly Interesting. Towers and fort damage on the side of Team Skyarch. And Leo stealing the giant camp from Team Skyarch. Skyarch himself a little low on the mana. Gonna be working to clean this up as fast as he can. Continue to soak our way up. Level 7 is online. Here's a quick preview of the talents as we're waiting in the lull here. Cassia is up to 7 stacks on Thunderstroke. She has chosen Ring of the Leech and Impale to follow up with that. Malfurion taking Shando's Clarity. We got a bit of a brawl going on down here. Run, Deckard, run! Or Waddle, I should say. They mean chunking some orbs in from the backside there. Root going down, not landing on anybody. Daka able to just kind of waddle his way out of there. Continuing much the same here. Aiden getting another stun. Daka and Leo dancing here in the bottom again. The solo lane Tango. Gonna go grab himself a potion there. Mildly Interesting beginning the rotations down. Skyarch grabbing the vision. Beginning the rotations down to Haka and Vala, the only ones down here at the moment for Team Skyarch. Mildly Interesting begins the take the temple. He's going to keep throwing out what you can. Try to get some poke damage in before the rest of the team shows up. ETC kind of separated from the team there. Now the rest of Skyarch is here. Leo having a Wraithwalk out of there. Asmodan just missing the dunk on it. Murdered and Malfurion down here with the rest of Team Skyarch. In comes Leo again. Malfurion popping Tranquility as level 10 has come online for Mildly Interesting, and down goes to Haka. The rest of Team Skyarch having to kind of pull back. They don't have their ults yet. Now they're jumping on the Azmodan. Li Ming's disintegrate. Gonna 27 health. Azmodan slipping out of there with 27 health.
So the light
Bottom
fades
4 towers are
from
gone
my
on the side of Team
temples.
Skyarch. Level
But
9.
it will
Still not quite level 10 yet. Returning to our talents here, but Decker getting jumped now. Dropping the scroll. Gonna be able to walk away. Leo continuing to be a pest in the bottom lane as Daka has moved on up, trying to get level 10 for his team. On the side of MI, we have Ball Lightning from the Cassia, Tranquility coming out from the Malfurion as we've seen. We've got Entomb, we've got Avatar, we've got Disintegrate, which almost snagged a kill already. Level 10 now online for Team Skyarch. And we've got Reign of Vengeance. Tahaka is holding his Stay a While and Listen from Deckard Cain. Tide of Sin from the Azmodan and Mosh Pit from ETC. Ooh, Stay a While and Mosh Pit, that'll be a fun little combo. Isolation, it looks like, coming out from Tahaka. Probably going to keep that primed and ready for Li Ming, or even Malfurion. Interesting is up with a 12-10 lead at the moment. 2 kills to 1. Despite all the blood being shed, there's only been a total of 3 kills so far.
The light of the sun grows.
2 shrines coming up this time. We've got
They
top
shall
lane and
bask
bottom lane.
in my glory.
Skyarch does manage to get their giants here as the temples are coming online. ETC opting to hearth and grab some mana. That middle fort is getting pretty low there on the side of Skyarch. Looks like mildly interesting is opting to come down to the bottom temple. Let's see if Dahaka zips his way up top or not.
Magic flows through the temples.
Skyarch rotating about.
Guardians,
They're gonna get
do
this
not
look for this Li Ming here. She's all alone. Able to blink away, but not far enough. Down she goes. 2 kills apiece, and now Team Skyarch is making their rotation down to try to pick off the rest of the team. Stay a While hits 3 people. Mosh Pit lands on the Murden. It's on Leo, who's going to end his march right in the middle of it, but not before the mosh ends. ETC does go down, Malfurion popping Twilight Dream, mostly for himself. The Haka going low, down he goes. And Skyarch, despite the man advantage, is on the back foot here. Level 13 talent advantage here, paying off for mildly interesting. Li Ming has moved her way up to start top. Looks like Skyarch has the same plan there. Mildly Interesting is not going to be far behind them. Here's your level 13 talents online for Team Mildly Interesting. Thunder God's Vigor, Revitalize, Ominous Wrath, Healing Static, and Illusionist. That guy trying to snag Li Ming while she's here alone, but the rest of MI is here. ETC again, power sliding on in pretty deep. Meriden just going to leap on in the back straight towards Zavala. She is dangerously low, as is Deckard, as is Azmodan. There's a big stun from the Zavala, big sleep. Gonna buy some time for the team, but Li Ming's orb is melting people. Down goes the Azmodan again. And Skyarch is super low on health. Down goes Deckard Cain. Down goes ETC. Getting shish kebab there by the Cassia. And mildly interesting, just gonna take their time here on this top temple.
temple's magic subsides. Find something else to fight over.
Moving their way in, they're going to steal the Bruiser camp here out from under Team Skyarch, who has now hit level 13, but they're still down a talent here. As level 16, the big power spike has come online for mildly interesting. Azmodan nearing his 200 stacks here, sitting at 172. Frog Rock for ETC is at 16 of 20, Dahaka at 5 on enhanced agility, and Cassia sitting at 19 of Thunderstroke. Dahaka down here all alone, and here comes Team Mildly Interesting wrapping around, deciding on the camp instead. They are going to grab it. They still have a chance to get down here on the Dahaka. And he's just going to use his little brush speed to get on out of there. Mildly Interesting is going to go ahead and take their camp as well. It will be a single temple coming up here shortly. And both teams kind of avoiding each other at the moment. Big dunk from the Aswell, getting the extra stacks. 192. Almost online there with Greed. He will do more damage to the not-heroic targets. Mildly Interesting sitting at 17 now. 14 on the side of Team Skyarch. They're still sitting here cleaning up the bottom lane as the Hakas went up to soak. Bottom Shrine is coming up active in 25 seconds. What are the teams going to opt to do here? Will we see a sneaky boss pull? Will we see a brawl? Skyarch is still down a talent tier. Aswell does complete his quest. Sitting at 206. Li Ming isolated from her team again, but it's only ETC there with her. And here comes Cassia prancing along on that new mount. Li Ming blinking at just the perfect time there, avoiding the dunk. Dahaka still soaking top lane. Skyarch doing what they can, trying to get 16 as fast as they can. Get to see sliding in again. There's the knockback. Dahaka's got the tongue on Murden. There's Mosh Pit. There's Stay a While. Listen, there's Isolation. Everything is dumped onto the Murden. He doesn't go down. I mean, getting the blink kill on Decker K, but dying for it as Vala walks away with 55 health. Sits with the drag there on Leo again, trying to buy some escape time for his team. Level 16s are online. ETC and Dahaka doing their best to buy time for each other. As Cassia continues to clean up that bottom temple. And there's now a keep down in the favor of Team Mildly Interesting. Cassia and Meriden wrapping up the last temple.
You have stolen enough of my temple's
Team
power.
Skyarch
Return
comboing
to
the stuff,
your
almost overlapping it a little too much.
heroes.
They need to see if they can get another isolated pick on somebody. They're piling into the bush here, as ETC and Vala are sort of taunting, dancing dangerously back and forth. ETC is sliding in. The drag from the Hawk on the Cassia. She's super low, but her ball is just bouncing everywhere. Down goes Cassia. Good work there from the Vala, the Hawk, and the Kane with the on-point potion throw there. Asmodean dunking his way. Boss has been triggered on from the excess damage. Down goes Murden. Disintegrated to bits by Li Ming. Skyarch still a little low on health, is going to back out. Leo kind of doing a Wraithwalk scout here. They're going to opt to start the boss. They are down Cassia, they are close to level 20 though. And it seems to have been a bait. They pile into this bottom bush here. Looks like they might sniff out the Deckard. No? Both teams kind of dancing around the throw pit. Who's going to be the one to engage? Of course, the Sky Temple boss is famous for so many throws in this game. Mildly Interesting, make the push in now. They've got the team, they've got Skyarch split. Stone from Vala trying to buy Deckard a little bit of time. He is just downing his potions as fast as he can as Black March. March of the Black King just makes its way through. After getting the isolation. Popping his second health bar, not going to be enough. Mildly interesting getting the level 20s now, as the next two temples have come online. They've got a keep down, they've got the boss option.
Guardians.
Level 20 talents, Cassia taking infinite lightning. Gonna be quite useful as they've been able to keep Skyarch rather bunched up in these team fights. Serenity coming out of Malfurion. Spectral Leech from the Leoric. Rewind coming out of Muradin. And Taurasha's Elements coming out the side of Li Ming. So mildly interesting, splitting themselves up between the two temples. Skyarch making a beeline for that top one as the middle one is almost completed. Muradin does finish his Stormbolt quest. Popping Avatar and leaping on in. Li Ming is here, popping the Disintegrate, getting interrupted. Big dunk from Azmodan. Health is low. Stay a while is popped. ETC getting the mosh pit on Muradin. And Skyarch turns immediately to blow him up, but ETC falls before anything can be done. There's the Disintegrate. Muradin just sticking to this backline here. The Haka getting a drag. And March of the Black King again looking for blood on Deckard. Li Ming gets popped by a minion. Deckard Cain goes down from Malfurion. Vala is hurting. Top Shrine is still up and active. And that fight kind of had things all over the place there on both teams. But Li Ming getting the minion death there. Skyarch still lacking the level 20s. They no longer have keeps up. They've got an exposed core being shot at by the temple. Will it be enough to finish it off? It looks like it might be. As Muradin leaves just before. There's those final 5 shots. Not quite enough. 17% left. They've got the level 20 advantage. Are they just going to make the final push? Looks like that is the call. Leo popping March of the Black King again. And Skyarch kind of has him in a tunnel or a funnel here. Vala in trouble getting Muradin does not want to let her get away. He has been all over her in every fight. Azmodan ducks the chain. There's Stay While and Listen. I've been getting the drag on Leo, but he's gonna have to burrow and recover some health there. ETC as well. Another dunk from the Azmodan. Damage not quite where it needs to be at the moment. Down goes Vala, dying with her stun. And down goes Azmodan. And this should be all she wrote here. As Mildly Interesting is now on the court. Whacking away. Shield is down. That's going to be all she wrote. GG to both teams here. As Mildly Interesting is going to take game number 1. So looking to take a look at the final stats here. We've got Malfurion with 102,000 healing. Leoric getting the big numbers across the board. 128,000 siege, 52,000 hero damage, and 18,000 in soak. Muradin, 91,000 in damage taken, coupled with Leoric 66,000. Vala with 80,000 on the side of Team Skyarch. 152,000 siege damage on the side of Azmodan. 40,000 healing from Deckard Cain. 60,000 tanking damage from ETC, 54,000 from the Dahaka, and Azmodan with the top soak here. That's all she wrote for game 1. Team Mildly Interesting, just doing the right thing there. Muradin getting to that backline and just harassing Deckard, harassing the Vala, getting out big hits with his Stormbolt, keeping them locked down, keeping them unable to do anything. And then Li Ming and Cassie just cleaning up the mess. We're going to now take a short break here as we get ready to jump into game number 2. Enjoy the break. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 2 coming up shortly. It's going to be on Volskaya Foundry. This was picked by Team Skyarch, so mildly interesting. We'll have first pick. Getting the readies from both teams here. And we will be diving into this shortly. So Team Skyarch with their playoff lives kind of on the line here. If mildly interesting can take this, they, from what I've seen, are guaranteed a spot in the top 6.
Volskaya Industries.
And here we go. Into Volskaya Industry, mildly interesting with the first pick. And the first ban as well. Playoff lives on the line. What are we going to see here on Volskaya? I have seen some Cho'Gall on this map. Have seen Vikings here. I've seen Sylvanas. Seen all kinds of crazy things on this map. What are we going with here? Team mildly interesting. Banning the Maiev. Banned out of the first game as well. Skyarch banning out Jimmy Raynor. So both teams getting some safe bans here early on. Maiev can be a nuisance on the points on this map. Or a hindrance if she keeps pulling them back onto the point when your team's trying to collect it in overtime. Second ban coming out from the side of mildly interesting is going to be Garrosh. No throwing today here in game number 2. So far though, Kerrigan is slipping through. There's the white main ban. Are we going to see some Kerrigan this time? Oddly interesting here, debating their first pick. No Brightwing in the last match either. Neither of the reworked heroes played in game 1. Kerrigan was banned. Whitemane was banned. No Mephisto either. He's the newest hero, of course. And there it is. Kerrigan has been picked. Reworked Kerrigan is on the board for mildly interesting. Sporting her ghost skin there. How does Skyarch want to answer that? Deckard Cain coming out again. And the Leoric. So snagging the Leoric away from teams mildly interesting this time. Just securing their Deckard Cain pick there. Johanna and Malfurion. Favorite healer tonight for team mildly interesting. Johanna can be able to keep those heroes nice and close to Kerrigan. If she can't even, as she can already pull them to herself as it is. Comboing that with the Blessed Shield and Malfurion roots would be quite devastating. Third ban here for Team Skyarch, and what are they going to go with? It's going to be a Varian. So Varian not getting any action tonight. Kel'Thas also being removed from the fight. His living bomb and fire can be so devastating on those small points. And so the pick is back here in favor of Team Skyarch. What do they have up their sleeve? What can they come up with here to get the win that they need so desperately here? As Valorek and Jaina. Alright. Don't know why that came up. I blame the ETC that fell on my keyboard. So, final answer here from
Here we go
Team Mildly
again.
Interesting is going to be a Chromie. Alright, I am a big fan of Chromie.
Here
And
we go.
Valera. So Valera banned out in the last match. Makes her way in here this time. Ooh. That is some lockdown coming down on the side of Mildly Interesting. With the newly reworked Kerrigan and a bursty Chromie. Ready to clean everything up. And how does Skyarch answer with their final pick here? It's gonna have to be a main tank, I would think. There it is, a new Barek.
Frozen throne.
So Nubrek, Leo, Alaric, Jaina. As we enter the swap round here, I've got to give this draft to Mildly Interesting. The way they were comboing in the first match, they're following up on everything so precisely. Couple that now with the now newly reworked, very powerful Kerrigan, with Chromie following it up from the back, and Valera keeping them locked down around Joe. This could be a very dangerous combination that Skyarch is going to be walking into here. But Alaric is no joke. As long as he doesn't die and keeps stacking his sadism, this could be a very, very entertaining set of team fights we have coming up. And hopefully they are as we load into the map here. Let me know who you think is going to win this match. My early vote is in the favor of Mildly Interesting. I would like to see Skyarch do what they can here to sway things in their favor.
Combat
But the lockdown
preparations.
coming out of MI, it's intimidating. For Mildly Interesting, we have Rally on the Kerrigan, Mrs. Wind-Up Bird on the Chromie, Happy Pants on the Johanna, Magnus Opus on the Malfurion, and Walrex on the Valera. Over on the side of Team Skyarch, we got Womack
In
on the
10
Nubrek, D-Bomber
seconds.
on the Deckard Kane, Sith 911
5,
over on the Orc,
4,
Skyarch on the
3,
Alaric, and M58 Gogon
1.
adding to the spray pile there
The gates are open.
as he is
Go.
running. Jaina. And both teams begin the usual ritual here in the middle, spinning, dancing, throwing out their spells. Walrex waiting patiently down there on the point, making his way in, getting the immediate garrote on the Alaric, followed up by Kerrigan. Nubarak in danger as well. This early team fight not looking good for Team Skyarch. Alaric does get the silence, and Valera, after all of that, is the one who falls first. Big silence from the Skyarch, followed up quickly by the Nubarak stun, is going to take her down. Teams now doing their respective splits. Head to their top and bottom lanes. It's going to be Kerrigan versus Leoric in the bottom. Chromie and Alaric in the top. Level 1 quests are here. We have Deep Breathing from Chromie quest. Vigor from the Valera. And Chromie already at 6 stacks there. Alaric opting for Extended Lightning. Fingers of Frost from the Jaina as the teams continue their little dance here. And Scroll of Identity coming out of Deckard. The votes are rolling in for who chat thinks are going to win. And finally, I have one that's not showing 100% in one direction. Warwick's getting a little low here, having a tough time with the Alaric. Poll will be open for another few minutes or so here, and we'll show the final results coming up shortly. Kerrigan snagging the turret camp here early, as Deckard and Jaina are doing the same over on the side of Team Skyarch. Jaina
Hero
out of
slain.
mana, and Valera gets taken down by the Alaric in the top lane. The High Lord asserting his dominance with the Brightwing Dagger spray. Deckard and Jaina auto-attacking this turret here. Adding on a lot of unneeded time there. Middle lane though, Nubarak finding himself in trouble. Skyarch rotates down.
Prepare to begin field testing.
Let's take a final look at the results here. Mildly interesting voted 75% by the chat. I'm gonna have to agree with that one. But Skyarch so far doing a good job. They've got the slight lead in XP. First objective is coming up, and this will be a good telltale of this how this early game is gonna go. Warwick's already getting in position.
Three-glove terminal online.
Jumped on the New York, getting the garrote off. Down goes Leo. No, he's able to Wraith walk out just barely, narrowly missing the Chromie. Dragon's Breath there. She is pumping out the damage. There's another one hitting Sith again. Nubarak is rooted. And mildly interesting, doing a good job holding the front line at this point as they've dropped their turret. Nubarak trying to poke this thing down as Chromie keeps tossing out her Dragon's Breath. She is building all the way into that with developing Assault and Mobius loot, getting the cooldown reductions. Nubarak is pulled away, able to burrow out at the last second with... Oh, it's a big pull there, but not able to capitalize on it. Happy Pants leaving, getting rooted. And down he goes to the Jaina Frostbolt. Chromie continue to throw out the damage. Valyria and Kerrigan kind of taking their time as Malfurion is dropped as well. Kerrigan a little low on mana, getting rooted. Now she's the one in trouble. Chromie throwing out the Sandblast, trying to buy some time as Valyria is rotated down bottom. Skyarch sitting here with almost a 1-level lead at this point. And now claiming the objective for himself at 48%. Kerrigan moves up to take the top siege camp. Johanna's over here to stall as much as she can. Interesting, doesn't need much. This level 7 is online 14 Skyarch. Big pull from the Alarak. Valyria's now into the back line, having to back out quickly as they all turn on her. Overtime has begun, and here is mildly interesting, making a final push for this point. Another big pull from the Alarak, getting 4 people with it. Kerrigan is silenced, having to back up, but Jaina's the one who drops to the Valyria. She turns on Deckard, then on the Nubarak, dashing away safely. And mildly interesting, despite the talent disadvantage, able to pull out the advantage here, but not before Joe is pulled and slain by a tower as Alarak pulled her to her death. Probably just narrowly missing the timing there, but down goes Leoric with a good stun out of the Valyria. Probably W's are landing where they need to. She's up to 10 of her stacks there. Another one on the Nubarak. Valyria in trouble, getting slowed. This is an overtime fight. The first team to be driven off is going to lose this point. Alarak finally dropping. There goes his sadism. Down goes Deckard Cain. Down goes a Nubarak. What a shot from the Chromie. And it's going to go to the favor of Mildly Interesting, who's now pulled ahead just barely in XP. Sitting at level 8, they have the first Protector, and here we go. Opting to get that early XP lead while they have nobody here on the side of Skyarch to actually slow this thing down. Down goes the first tower, dashing into the wall, taking out the second tower, and they're focusing on the fort. Not opting to make that rotation up to take out the well, to give themselves the advantage on that top lane. They're just going to pummel away at this first fort. Chromie is level 8, or 9 now. She does have her ult. She did pick it up at level 8. And it looks like it was slowing Sands.
I must say, our engineers have made good progress.
Joe working her way through the slowing Sands there. Through the Alarak slow, it looked like. And a Nubarak getting just barely out of there again. Down goes Johanna again. Alarak is landing those pulls with great precision. Leoric is barely avoiding that Dragon's Breath as he comes out of the walk. Both teams spreading out for the rotations. Mildly interesting, nearing level 10 here. Both opting to take their turret camp. Chromie doing what she can with her auto attacks. Not in power because she can't get it from missing with her Q anymore. She has to hit a hero to get those bronze talons. It's Malfurion stuck solo laning against Leoric at the moment. Johanna finally making her way up. Lorik's coming in sneakily behind the Leo. Karen dueling a Nubarak here, but here comes the rest of Team Skyarch. She's got the Ultralisk. Ults are online for both teams. We will take a look here shortly. As the Nubarak does fall.
Hero slain.
And Alarak is picked off in the top line by Valera and Johanna. Down goes the High Lord again. Taking a look at the ults here. Chromie with her level 11 talent as well. Taking bye-bye. Gonna be looking to leave the fight as quickly as she can should things turn sour there. She is at 49 of her 50 stacks. She has completed deep breathing. She does have slowing sands. Malfurion with the tranquility again. Johanna with blessed shield. Kerrigan opting for Ultralisk. Getting that extra stun and smoke bomb coming out of Valera. On the side of Team Skyarch as Deckard is now pulled. He's in trouble. He can use that fort to buy himself a little time. Chromie has completed her quest. She now has her sand clone and the extra damage online. Nubarak taking Cocoon, Alarak taking Counter-Strike. We got Ring of Frost from the Jaina, Stay a While and Listen from the Deckard Kane, and March of the Black King coming out of Leoric. Interesting. I would like to see Entomb here, but Kerrigan can get out of it. Joe can invulnerability through anything they throw. Chromie's got the bye-bye. So March may work out better here. Although Ring into Entomb, or vice versa. Couple that with the Stay a While. And Skyarch could have had a nice little combo going here. Well, interesting taking the support camp here in the middle. Gonna be able to grab that nice healing pulse out of him before the fight starts, as the top objective has come online. Skyarch just a couple of wildly interesting, just a couple of minions away from level 13. There it is. Damage is up and going. Level 13 talents are on board for the rest of Team. Mildly interesting as Chromie got hers early. There's your picks over on the sidebar. So the top lane fight has begun. Valera doing her best to drive out Alarak, wanting to keep his stacks down there on that Sadism. And there's a big pull from the Kerrigan. Ring of Frost is down. Unable to hit anybody there. Down goes Alarak, down goes Jaina. Valera just making quick work of that back line with the help of Chromie sieging blasting it back there. Kerrigan getting the finish on a Nubarak. The Ultralisk was dancing around looking for something for its next target. Good pull from Kerrigan, getting Leo through the gate there. But she's going to have to back off as her Ultralisk went down. Magnus Opus going to have a little picnic here on the point as Joe and Chromie continue to siege away at the front wall here. Johanna getting another pull. The Protector does its superhero stance. It is back down. Valera. I'm sorry, it's going to be Malfurion and Johanna. Valera getting kicked out of the Protector there. Now Malfurion hopping out.
Has taken control of
as Valera hops on in. They want to keep those heals on the field. For Kerrigan and the Chromie. And in goes the Protector, immediately going for the Jaina, turns onto the fort. Alarak dueling with Kerrigan in the bottom there, though. Her shield giving her a bit of an advantage here, as is a level 13 talent here. And the top fort is down. Oddly interesting, gonna keep pressing forward. Getting a big slam from the Protector there on the Orc. He gets rooted. He's going to try to Wraithwalk away, and he gets out of there just in time at 300 health. They continue this one. There's a Stay While and Listen. But Chromie's going to drop her Dragon's Breath right up. There's a big Ring of Frost from the Jaina, hitting multiple people. Down goes the Orc. Down goes Alarak. The ring backfiring for Team Skyarch there. They made the rush in. And Kerrigan said, no, you're coming back to us. And her and Chromie cleaning up the low health team of Team Skyarch. As they clean up this front wall here. Down second tower, going down here any second now. Nearing level 16, a couple more minion kills, and they will have 16 on their side. Chromie already has her level 16 talent, having gotten it at 14. And the bloodbath has been real in this match, 13-6 in the kills already. We're 12 minutes in. But mildly interesting, doing some work on the property of Team Skyarch there. Alarak got through the pusher, but he went there. Leo is getting locked down again, and down he goes. Malfurion Root securing the kill there. And now Kerrigan diving in deep onto the Nubarak. Mildly Interesting is not backing away. They want this keep. They've got the advantage. They got the talent level. Johanna goes down though. Stay a while onto the Valera. She gets isolated. Pops her smoke bomb. Does get the kill on Jaina. And Deckard's next on her list. The assassin doing her work there on that back line. Popping smoke bomb and just walking away. Alaric does catch her out though. Misses the silence. She's able to dash to freedom. And despite the loss of Johanna there, Mildly Interesting turning the fight around in their favor. Kerrigan is going absolutely ham. Look at the size of those shields. Almost over half her health bar there. She gets the pull on Alaric, finishes him off. Anubrak is down. And Mildly Interesting continuing to drink the blood of their enemies. Krobi throwing pocket sand in their face, Kerrigan impaling body after body, and Valera slicing down that back line. Skyarch is in a rough situation here as they're down 17 to 14 in levels. They desperately needed win here. And Kerrigan, can't agree more.
A new terminal will be ready shortly.
That said, a bad Kerrigan is still a bad Kerrigan. Go watch some of my victims to player. Mildly Interesting, rotating down here to the bottom lane. This Team Skyarch is doing their best, trying to grab 16 so they can at least be on the same talent tier going into this next objective as it comes up here in roughly 15 seconds. Chromie's level 20 ult taking time anomaly, the multiple time traps, and her Hall anomaly. Sorry with the name screw up there. Should take Quantum Overdrive as her 16. Moonlit Harmony from Malfurion. Holy Renewal from Johanna. Painful Spikes from the Kerrigan. And Seal Fate from Valera. And Skyarch opting to give up the objective as they're going to push hard in this top lane here. Trying to make something happen. That's Mildly Interesting. Gonna let the Malfurion have another picnic down here, but they're no strangers. No, they're not being shy here. They're diving hard on that Anubarak. They're going to just work their way towards this keep. Chromie continues to poke it down. Now that 16 is online, Team Skyarch is making their way down. They've got 30% to get over there. Everything takes it pretty much a percent a second.
Has destroyed the fort.
Faster than a second. 94, 95, they're not going to be able to get pushed in here, and the third protector is going to go to Mildly Interesting. Superhero landing yet again. In pops Johanna, in pops Chromie. Kerrigan and Malfurion and Valera on the field.
Has taken control of a protector.
They've got the healing support pulse. They've got a turret. They've got a 16-minute protector. And the fort already down. Nothing to slow it down here early on. Here we go. And Jaina tossing out the blizzards, getting a good chunk of damage on the protector already. Deckard getting the slow, nearly landing the root on two people, only snagging the Malfurion at the very edge there. And the protector is through the wall, headed for the keep. Stairwall is down and is going to slow down Kerrigan. And Ultralist, though, on the other hand, has other ideas. Valera was cocooned, able to break out. Malfurion, Kerrigan, and Valera still doing their thing. Valera diving hard on the backline, followed up by Kerrigan. Big pull from Kerrigan. Ring does land, freezing all three of the heroes out of the protector. The Jaina Blizzard doing some damage there to Malfurion, but he's just going to pop the Tranquility and keep on going. Anubarak is down, picked up by Chromie. Valera gets the kill on Leoric. Down goes Deckard. That leaves Jaina here with the protector at 20 seconds. Chucking away. Down to 10%. Core is down to 60%. No shields, all of Skyarch is down. That is going to be GG in favor of Team Mildly Interesting. Congratulations to them as they get the 2-0 domination on this match. So, taking a final look at the results here. Chromie with 13,000 XP, 56,000 damage, 117,000 siege. So pretty good numbers all around on a Chromie who was recently buffed. Malfurion with 68,000 in healing, 53,000 in tanking from Johanna. Running solo this game, 121,000 siege damage thanks to that protector. Kerrigan with a whopping 62,000 hero damage and 6 of the kills. Valir actually getting top kills at 11. And mildly interesting with a 23-7 difference in the bloodshed. Anubarak taking 63,000 damage on the side of Team Skyarch. Skyarch himself dealing 39,000 damage. Jaina at 65,000 siege damage. 49,000 healing from the Deckard. And 68,000 tanking damage from the Leoric with the 7,000 in XP. Things are blowing up almost too fast for Deckard to even get the heals out. One downside to the early Deckard pick. Burst can counter it pretty hard. So, I'm going to be getting the captains of Team Mildly Interesting here in the chat very shortly. And we will have them here as Team Mildly Interesting once again takes this match 2-0, bumping their record up to 14-10, sitting Skyarch down to 10-10. Let's see if we can't get the captain of Mildly Interesting in here to talk with us.
Hello.
Hello, welcome back. So, how are y'all feeling after that one?
Excited.
Yeah, according to the numbers that were shown, and I didn't do the math, I'm going by off the spreadsheet that was shown in the chat earlier today. That should secure y'all at least 6th place, possibly even 5th. I do not know exactly where, but you should be making your way into the playoffs.
Yeah, that's what we're hoping for.
Yeah.
Looking pretty good there. So let's go over the games here. Game 1, Sky Temple. How'd y'all feel going into that one? That was y'all's pick.
Yeah, that was our second pick. They actually banned our pick.
Yeah, so we were planning on playing Valera, because Valera can handle Solo Temple and she can pick off anyone who's rotating. So it's a really good pick on a map where people are constantly rotating like that. But they banned Valera, so that was really sad for us. We cried a little bit.
Quite unfortunate. Team fights early on were kind of close. The kills weren't too high in that first game.
Yeah, 15-5. What was with that?
Yeah. And
Like
so,
no deaths, basically.
I think we both had some weird plays too. Where we
Yeah,
both
definitely.
Kinda messed up.
there were a lot of fights there where y'all are my leads. I've been doing that all
Yeah.
night. Skyarch actually had y'all on the back foot, and then they would dive a little too deep or get a little too greedy, and you guys would just turn the tide on them there. So what was your thought in those team fights? What were y'all looking to focus on there as those fights took off?
Well,
You wanna answer that?
yeah, so at the beginning, when they were sort of dominating us, we were really scared, and we kept getting picked off one by one. Especially my healing as Malfurion couldn't keep Johanna up to his health up. So we sort of wanted to play it back off, get experience, out soak while we managed to get together. By playing it really safe, and they played it a little bit too divey, we managed to finally get some wins and sort of start snowballing up.
Definitely, once y'all kind of got that second temple there, things started kind of going your way. You hit level 10 first. Had it on that, actually, I believe, at the start of the second temple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had, and then did we get level 10 then?
Yeah, we got level 10
Yes.
first.
Yeah, it was only a few seconds before that. Didn't we get almost the same time?
No, they got it a little bit after.
They
us,
got
I
it
think,
after the
but,
second temple.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
okay.
think what worked well for us too is we had a lot of roots with the Malfurion,
Mm-hmm.
and he was able to land a lot of those, which worked with the Cassia Lightning Ball and some other ults we had.
And we had a Cassian and Leoric, two great heroes for soloing temples. So the rest of the team could stand out front and dealing with the opponents while someone stays back and getting the temple. So we can get it and just survive the whole time.
Definitely. Y'all did very good work on those temples. Did a good job zoning them out when you could. I have to admit, I was a little disappointed I didn't get to see the entombment of the lightning ball. Multiple people in that entombment with lightning balls. That was quite a
I was
treat.
disappointed as well. I love an entomb into a lightning ball, but it wasn't feeling like we needed it this game. So,
So y'all
and
get
I
the
mean,
win.
his stats showed that he made the right decision.
Yeah, definitely.
I think.
Leo definitely doing some work on both teams and both matches there. But y'all do
Yeah.
get the win on the first map, taking it over to Volskaya Foundry for the second one. This was their map. How did y'all feel going into Volskaya Foundry?
Well, I know for sure that I was nervous. It's their map, so they sort of had a really a strategy going in. But they let us get that Valera, okay? And that Valera did so much work. I mean, kill after kill after kill in the back line, and then it's nonstop, you know? I think it really helped us that they sort of let us have the Valera, let us have the Kerrigan. Well, we actually had first pick, so they didn't ban her, and they let us have her. So the Kerrigan, the Valera, I mean, two heroes that really work right now in the meta, and they just really work they really synergize together.
So, according to the chat here, Jackster does seem to be posting the possible outcomes now. If Bone Boys win 2-0, Bone Boys will get 6th slot, winning 14 wins to 13. Bone Boys draw, tie-breaking match between y'all and Bone Boys. So y'all might want to stay awake here, is what they're saying. Bone Boys loses 0-2, and mildly interesting will take 6th slot. So
okay, so if
not
Bone
as
Boys,
guaranteed as it looked.
so if Bone Boys gets a domination, then we have to play a tiebreaker with them.
No, it looks like
We'll be playing wild card if they take a domination, and if it's a draw, it'll
No.
be a tiebreaker.
Oh, so if they draw, it's a tiebreaker.
yeah.
I'm looking at
That's
the
what it's looking
Okay.
DE chat right now.
So how does the tiebreaker match work?
Well, tiebreaker means y'all are tied 13 wins to 13, and you both have 4 dominations. So
We would play Bone Boys tonight.
you would have to squeeze in a game with Bone Boys. I do think Aura said y'all would be able to do it early in the morning before wildcard weekend, but no, I'm not going to make any promises there. That's
Yeah.
between y'all and the mods. But you do get the kill. That Valera working out very well for y'all. Getting some nice
Yeah.
pickoffs, especially keeping on Alarak, keeping his sadism low, getting into that backline and just causing all kinds of chaos for poor Deckard Cain.
Yeah, we weren't. We didn't plan on playing Valera on the second match because we figured they would ban her again, but they didn't ban her, so we thought we'd better take advantage.
It worked out for
So
y'all's favor there.
It worked out in our favor, but they gave us a good match there as well.
It was one of the most exciting matches I've played in a long time.
Definitely, and that Kerrigan, that new Kerrigan is something else, isn't she?
She's like
Oh,
both a
yeah.
bruiser and an assassin. It's great.
Our game plan was like, if we're not gonna play her and we don't have first pick, we need to ban her out.
Yep.
Because she's just so strong.
Definitely. Haven't gotten to see much of her yet myself. Didn't see her last night. Didn't even see her banned last night. It was quite unfortunate. But you
Yeah.
finished this last one with 23 kills to 7. Just absolutely taking it to them with this, knowing what was on the line here. So I wanted to say GG's to y'all. GG's to Skyarch as they prep for their second match of the night.
Yeah, GG's to them. I hope they do well in their second match because that'll keep us in. if they beat Bone Boys, so
Yeah, so if they get a domination, then we're guaranteed a spot, right?
yeah, if they take a domination.
So good luck to Skyarch, really.
Good luck to Bone Boys too, but hopefully we don't have to play a tiebreaker tonight.
Maybe just a little bit more luck to Skyarch. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
Well-
and thank you for casting. We haven't been casted much this whole
Yeah, it was great.
deal.
We actually, I'm watching it back now, the recording.
I'll enjoy it. Definitely a lot of downtime in some of y'all's matches there, as y'all were doing a lot of soaking at some points. But any
Yeah.
shout outs from y'all as you await the results for the end of the night?
All right.
I don't know. Maybe just a shout out to our team for doing well and our Leoric that did a lot of work in the first game.
And I guess a shout out to our opponents. I mean, they really gave us a run for our money the first match. The second match to the first half was really intense.
Yeah, first half of that Volsky map, they were really bringing it to you guys.
Yeah.
They were really putting
They were
pressure on
dominating every fight.
us, so
So it looks like
good luck to them in the rest
definitely
of their games.
looks like they're still trying to figure out what the possible outcomes are in chat there. So good luck to y'all.
Yeah.
Good luck regardless of the outcome. If you enter wildcard weekend, be prepared to see some interesting things as it's one game elimination all the way through.
Yeah.
Best of luck to y'all. Thank you for
Gotta do our
joining me.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you
Have
for
a wonderful
casting.
night.
Yeah,
You
you
too.
too.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night. Thanks to everybody else for tuning in. Enjoy your night, and we will await the results of Division D West as the 10 o'clock Pacific time game comes online here shortly. I've been your host, Mystic. Enjoy the rest of your night, everybody. Have a good night.